People are bringing this not to
No.
go away from osmosis, but I'm sure there will be people who see the recorded podcast on Tuesday and go, "Oh, you didn't even talk about J.J. Abrams and Star Wars." Well, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
you got it.
We'll do it really, really quick. Doesn't matter yet. Okay.
So there you go. But I was gonna say
I'm kind of disappointed only because he's already doing Star Wars and Star Trek rather.
Yeah.
And Star Trek is so
weird.
It's so good. Star Trek is great. And Star Trek has always been a competitor to Star Wars, and to have the same person helming both franchises seems like a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but he's a good director. So.
And what you brought up too last night was that Michael Giacchino's been working with him for a while.
Yeah.
And he already does some of the Star Tours stuff.
Yeah.
So it only almost makes sense.
I guarantee if there's anyone but John Williams doing music, it'll be
Michael Giacchino. But doesn't he do the Star Trek movie as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's what I feel
there's another.
But no matter what,
the movies are going to sound the same.
Sorry.
And
Look the same.
No, I just feel like he did such a good job with Star Trek. I am totally fine with him. And honestly, let's say this new Man of Steel movie never were to happen, and I found out Christopher Nolan was doing the next Superman movie, I would be excited for that because it's not a competition to me; it's a cooperation. And
it's not of a competition; it's a cooperation.
You can make any movie you want. I personally, I don't have a problem with it. Really, I think what he did with Star Trek was so good that I have full confidence that he'll make this as good as he possibly can.
I'm excited to see.
Here's the thing: I feel like competition is a good thing, and when
true too.
When you have two people competing, it inspires them to do better than the other person. And I feel like not only is there a conflict of interest having one person doing both of these franchises, but inherently one of these movies will suffer. And I'm not saying it's going to be Star Wars or Star Trek, but if you're doing a movie that is set in space, you're doing two movies that are set in space and they're both set in a science fiction world, and you have a badass fucking idea for a movie, now you have to pick which movie do I use this in?
Yeah.
And instead of putting all of your best ideas into one project, making it the best it could possibly be, you have two sci-fi movies taking place in space, and you have to split your effort between them and make them both as good as you can make them.
Well, I was gonna say, and I agree, because I'm still cool with him doing it. It's weird, but I'm cool with it, whatever. But that is interesting to bring up that point because. If you look back at interviews, I loved the recent Star Trek movie, and I remember watching all the stuff on the Blu-ray. And there's interviews with him where he talked about. He literally says in an interview, "Well, I'll never get to make a Star Wars movie, so I made this. I grew up with Star Wars. I wasn't into Star Trek as much as other people. So when I came to Star Trek, I wanted to bring everything that made people a fan of that, but I kind of made it my own Star Wars, and that's what I'm trying to bring to these movies is." That same sense of whatever, how he's treating it that way. It could be the best of all sci-fi.
Yeah.
But now you're making Star Wars. So, so anyway, so that is a little interesting conflict. But whatever, it's not out, it's not done.
But I mean, can you imagine, what if you heard that Zack Snyder was doing it?
Oh, no, exactly. I'd be done with it now.
Of all people, it's not the worst choice.
No, it's not.
No, right.
So, yeah, but I will say, okay, so all week, of course, and this is natural to this kind of thing, there's been dumb jokes all over everywhere. Oh, that's no moon, that's a lens flare. That's really funny, guys. It's lens flare jokes, okay. But one joke made me laugh, and I want to shout out, but I don't know who wrote it, but it made me laugh. And that was, I don't know, it was actually somebody I know, so I'm really going to offend them. But they were like, I think it's cool they're doing this, because now it's like way easier. Comic-Con is only going to have to invite one guest if they keep this up. And that's true. Just park him in Hall H and give him more movies. And then, and then I think Bernie said that he should direct the next Alien or Prometheus or whatever. He should direct that.
Hey, why not?
And then retroactively direct The Matrix.
Yeah, you're set. And you're good.
I think that's a good idea.
And we got it. All bases covered.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway.
Well, but there was nothing to say about it.
There was nothing to say about it.